Hi, Jeffrey Wood here. In this video I'm going to show you how to install a plugin. So when you log into your WordPress, you're here at the dashboard. To install plugins, you come down here to the plugins and go to Add New, or you can go to Install Plugins. And then up here you can add new. You can list them by listing all the ones you have, only the active ones, the inactive ones, the ones that were recently active, and what's called a drop-in. Now a drop-in is one that replaces the WordPress functionality. In other words, WordPress does one thing, the plugin comes in and completely changes it. In this case it's the super cache. If I list just the inactive ones, you'll see it's all-in-one SEO. The active ones, and then of course all of them. So since I need a plugin anyway, I'm going to use the opportunity to record it for you. Now in this case you can type in whatever it is you're looking for. Sometimes if you just want to see if there's a plugin available, you can type in a search term and it'll bring up relevant results. Now when you go through here, it takes you through the plugin directory at wordpress.org, and those are, I haven't run into one where you pay yet. Sometimes there's a free version and a pro version. There are other plugins throughout the web, just as there are themes, and you can buy them. Some are good, some aren't. In this case, I'm looking for one that'll create a privacy policy page for me, and I'll cover pages in a different video. So, type in privacy policy, because that's what I want. Now here you have the name, you can install it, tells you the version, the ratings, and the description. And if you go on details, it brings it up, tells you it has not been tested with my current version. It tells you the version number, who the author was, the last time it was updated, the required WordPress version, what is compatible to, how many is downloaded, and the average rating, and it's based on 2 ratings. They have a installation, screenshots, changelog. My mouse isn't working too well. A FAQ, other notes. Sometimes they'll have, sometimes they won't have the FAQ, sometimes they'll have troubleshooting or 4 reviews. Oh, and where you can download it. Sometimes the plugin has a separate home page. It doesn't do it here, but what I like to do when I'm looking at a plugin that has not been recommended to me, I'm just kind of flying blind, is I like to go and read the reviews. Now when it comes to reviews, what I personally do is I scan through them. I look at things like, is it for the current version, or was the last review for a version that's old? Are all the complaints kind of about the same thing, or are they all over the place? If they're all kind of about the same thing and it's something that doesn't matter that much to me, then I might install it anyway. If they're all about similar things that would be a problem for me, I won't do it. Older plugins that haven't been updated in a long time may mean that, it could mean that the plugin is just still working really well, or it could mean that, you know, the person's no longer updating it and you need to find something newer. In any case, last updated a year ago. I'll probably go with the top one. The one I usually use I don't see in this list. Of course, it'll bring up however many, and like you'll see down here, it's kind of washed out. It's washed out on my screen. I'm not sure yet until I watch the recording. It might look better when you see it, but you know, 1 of 4 pages. You can go to the last pages. There's 99 of them. Depending on how important the plugin is to me, depends on how much research I will do. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to use this one because I've used it before, even though it's a year old. I'm just going to click on Install Now. Yes, I want to install it. Now, just like with themes, installing it does not activate it right away. So you could go through, and if you know you have several plugins you want or need, you can go through and install them all and then go through and activate them. Some plugins have settings and some don't. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the plugin. What I found with plugins, ones that have settings, like Akismet has a setting, they don't always put them in the same place. Sometimes they'll put them here separate, sometimes they'll put them under settings, like Supercache is under settings, sometimes it'll be under tools, sometimes they'll put them up here. Akismet is under dashboard. All-in-one SEO, I think, is, if it wasn't a separate thing, I've seen them put them separately up here. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is go to your installed plugins and click on settings. But I did activate this one, so oops. So here it has, in this particular plugin, it has the site name. It uses your default contact address. You can change this. It won't change it in the other spot. It'll only change it, need this on your page. A privacy policy is good, especially if you're going to run like Google AdWords, because they require it. You can change some of your formatting issues here. You can include a link to the privacy policy help, to the browser configuration, or credit link. In this case, I'm just going to uncheck them all. You can load your default options and you can update the options. Now, at this point, if you already have a policy page, you'd use this text and put it into an existing page, and it'll replace whatever's there with privacy policy. Or if you don't have one, which I don't on this site, it'll create one. AdSense privacy policy, and the page flag is privacy policy. I'm going to get rid of the AdSense part because it's just, even though it's for AdSense, this one specifically, my privacy policy is just kind of a general. And then you click on create page, and now if you go, and nothing really changes here. If you go here and refresh it, you'll see poof, there's a privacy policy page. Click on it, and there it is. To remove comments from pages, you actually have to go in and modify the PHP code. Personally, I think that is absolutely stupid. You should be able to turn comments off in WordPress itself on pages, not just on pages and posts. They may change that in a current version, but I was looking at that yesterday, and that's, no, I didn't want the dashboard. I wanted to go back to the main page. Anyway, and to see how different plugins can make, how much of a difference they can make, if I go here, by the way, these are some I recommend. Now, a privacy policy you don't have to use a plugin for. You can write your own or get one from one of the sites that provide legal documents. Akismet comes with, you have to activate it, you have to get a key. What it does is it's a spam filter, and it comes with every version of WordPress I've ever installed. All-in-one SEO pack, which I set up yesterday. It takes care of some SEO formatting for you automatically. Google Sitemap, any sitemap will work. And analytics, if you're going to use Google Analytics. Here, let me deactivate this. I want to show you how dramatically that can affect things. So if you go into posts, and go into all posts, and I restored this one from the trash. And so you got the title, you got the stuff here, and that's it. Okay. Now if I go back in here to installed plugins and activate that, and I go back to my posts, now look at this. You've got categories and tags just like you had, but now you have the all-in-one SEO pack down here. You have a preview snippet. You have a place where you can put the title, the description, and it'll tell you how many characters, the keywords, things for the robots. And now you have all these other options. And SEO, all-in-one SEO, like I said before, it kind of helps you with your doing SEO. I'm going to turn this off here again for the next video, but I just wanted you to see how dramatically plugins can affect. Sometimes it'll affect what the user sees, sometimes it'll affect what you see, and sometimes it'll just affect the functionality. Like the super cache, you don't really see it. Your users may or may not see a speed increase, but it affects the functionality. I'm going to deactivate that for my next video. But anyway, that's really all there is to it. A lot of plugins, there's some plugins that are good for like security and whatnot, and to make your life easier, to give you more editing options. Other than that, they're pretty much a matter of personal taste. There's different versions usually, and whether you use them or not, there's no hard and fast except for use common sense. Look at the reviews, see how old it is, see if, go to the developers page if it's still there, see if it's still currently working without needing modifications, or if they're just not supporting it, things like that. Anyway, I'm going to end the video now, so I hope that is useful for you.